Would you just look at these weeds? This backyard we put in last summer, seeded, hydromulch. And it's just coming up spring now, but I don't want to be picking all these weeds or spraying them individually. Front yard's full of them too. So I've decided to make myself a boom sprayer. Out of that motorhome, which I'm scrapping for other purposes, and it's a wreck. It's been smashed up in the back. I've spent some time stripping out the interior, and it's given me a few neat things that I can use to make this sprayer. Welcome back to Made by J&D. Behind me is a water tank, a water pump, the fill nozzle, fill hose, some wiring. I'm going to use that to make this yard sprayer. It's going to have a boom and some nozzles, and I'll show you those. This is a close-up of the pump that I got out of the motorhome. 7.5 amps, 12 volt DC, 3 gallons per minute, 55 PSI. The boom sprayers that I saw for mounting, suitable for mounting on an ATV from Tractor Supply and from Amazon and other such places could cost anywhere between $400 and, well, as much as you want to pay, $1,200. There was one, I think it wasn't even trailer mounted. Maybe it was at Tractor Supply. That was $1,200. Anyways, the pump that it had on that was 60 PSI, but only, well, less than 3, I think it was 2.8 gallons per minute. Anyways, so this pump will be suitable. Some other things with the tank. This is the fill valve that came on the side of the motorhome, but this was a bottom fill, and that was mounted on the bottom. I'm going to flip that so that's up. This fitting here screws into it. That's for the fill pipe. The other end of this fill pipe is over there. I'll shorten it to suit, and that'll be put onto the back of this fill. This used to be the vent for the tank, but I'm going to use this for the supply to the pump, because that'll be on the bottom. This is 2,4-D weed killer, again from Tractor Supply Company. They say if I mix this right and I get the nozzles right and all that, but these two should treat, one will treat an acre if it's easy to control weeds, but if they're tough weeds, you need 2 quarts, and it should treat a whole acre. The other things I've got are these nozzles, which are, say right on it, what they'll do for you. But it tells you the speed you can travel, how many gallons per acre, the kind of rate you're going to expect at these different rates and these different pressures. So I should be able to tailor this to suit as fast as I need to spray and still get good coverage. These spray tips are flat fan, and I think they're 20 inches spacing between these nozzles. That's why there's 4. I can make an 80-inch boom. Some fittings. These are the corner bits on each end of the boom. These are going to be the 2 intermediates in between the middle sprayer. I was doing some trial fitting at Tractor Supply, and that's why this is together. There's a little brass nut that goes there, and this is one of those nozzles. And I think that's a jam nut. I don't know what it's for. Oh, it's probably for mounting into a piece of metal. This is how I expect it'll lay out. Corner, nozzle, supply, nozzle. Somehow or other, I'll get this to adapt onto there. Goes to the other end of the pump. Yeah, see how that goes. So I found a PEX valve. This is a ball valve that I'd used spare left over from when I was doing the toilet block. And I can use that as a shutoff valve. And I've been back to the store because I've got enough black pipe that I stripped out of the motorhome. It's 3/8 inch instead of 1/2 inch, but that'll still be enough. I've got a supply line that'll be a 1/2 inch from here to the pump, and that fits the valve. And then at the outlet of the pump, I can go directly to 3/8, and I've got all the fittings I need. I haven't tested the pump yet, but I think it'll be okay. Yeah, so this is going to be a really, really interesting project. Found 3 elbows. This elbow here goes from 1/2 inch to, looks like 5/8 of pipe fitting. But these other 2 elbows, this is a pin by socket, that's pin by pin. And between those 2, I think I can come straight out of here and do a U-turn. Well, with this one actually, because there's my 1/2 inch pin by pin. And this is that'll just be my outlet then, or outlet of the tank, inlet to the pump. Screw that in there like this, just as a dry fit. And from there to the valve, from the valve to, what's going on here? I've got this join. That should screw in there, cut this off, stick the valve on. We're good. Outlet to the pump. Make sure I got the valve in there right. Okay, put it in like that. No, it doesn't matter, I can rotate it. That should fit in there. There we go. That's the PEX fitting. You just press them, ready to go. Make sure I press it in there good though. Make it look good, about the same length. Nice square cut. Okay. There. Pressed in there good. That'll be everything I need to go there. Take this nipple off of this. I have to calculate how big this tank is. I think it's roughly 20 gallons, but I have to find a calculator and figure out length by width by depth and get a gallon's equivalent out of that. Okay. There's always a question, do I go one more around or is that tight enough? Let's go one more round. I hate having to redo fittings. Clock that right about there. Now this one here, I don't think I can, once it's tight, I think it's tight. Because that's not a, I just might have to, yeah, I don't think I can go any further with that. Trust the seal a gasket for that, or make a pipe thread sealant for that. And this one here, I think I can just tighten that up, should be good. It's got a matching fitting there. It's good. Rotate that around, connect up the pump. I don't have to go to the center of the boom, I can go to one end of it. So the boom is 80 inches long, roughly. So I'll leave that uncut for now. I have to test this pump before I go any further. I I think this should be a pressure switch, and there's a connector here, there's another connector right next to it, and then there's this one here down below. I have to make sure that right now it should be, because there's no pressure, it should be going through there. And it is. That one is not. Okay, so right now the pump would be running if I had power. Okay, I think that bucket's full enough. Let's see how we go here. So there's plus goes here, and I've got the fuse in it so I don't burn anything up. Just long enough. Okay, it's a good strong running pump. Let's see how quick it actually vacates. It's primed now. Let's see how fast it'll empty this bucket. 3 gallons a minute, it says. So I'm just going to estimate. I don't know if you can see it, if I'm in the way or not. But it's pumping really strong. It's not blowing a fuse. Okay. Yeah. I think this will easily do 3 gallons a minute. So we have a good pump. Oh, but it's leaking. Where is it leaking from? Did it crack? It may have frozen because it froze out there. That's what's going on. I think it's got a crack in the housing. Dang. Yeah, because I didn't winterize this thing when I parked it. It doesn't look like the fittings are leaking. It looks like it's coming out of the pump housing. Oh, that's a shame. Stainless steel, they're not magnetic at all. So there's the crack. I'm thinking I should be able to repair that. So I've just come back in from ordering a repair housing here. I can get them from Amazon for around $40. I called around town. They wanted $120 just for this little piece of plastic. The pump itself, they were asking $180. Well, on Amazon, I can get the exact same thing for $80. So it's $100 less. Anyway, so I've ordered this part here. It's around $40. Be here Thursday. And what I'll just do is continue piecing this together. So this piece here is what I'm going to use for the fill. It's just a PVC pipe fitting. Threads on this end, 1.5 inches. Just a glue fitting there, but I'm not going to glue it. And I'll use that as a cap. The cap has a 1/2 inch NPT there. And over here I've got this is actually broken. It's the remains of a check valve. If I can get it off of there. Anyways, that check valve there, I can use as a vent so I don't suck the tank in while I'm pulling water out of it. And I'll just put that on there and that'll be my vent. I'll plug this other one off, this other vent down here. And yeah, I'll just screw that into the bung over there. And okay, so now I start piecing all these together. The first thing to go in will be these are fittings that I got. I traded in the 1/2 inch fittings that I had. These are 3/8 fittings. And so I'll start piecing all this together. I don't know how long to make it. The boom's going to be 80 inches. And the reason it's 80 inches, it's not arbitrary. The fans, the spray pattern is 20 inches wide. I've got 4 nozzles, 80 inches. So the boom will be somewhat shorter than that, but the spray pattern will be 80 inches. So let's make that up first. This is all 3/8. I'll just cut that off. Well, trying to force this on didn't work very well. Let's try to just make it a bit slippery. Maybe that'll help. think that'll do. Yeah, soap can be just enough. So now that piece will be 20 inches long. So before I put this T-piece in there to feed the hose, feed the boom, wherever it's going to be, I'm going to mount the tank, and I'm going to use this mower to drive around, and I'll put the tank on the front so I can see what I'm spraying. And it's all going to be kind of one piece on the front of this mower. Now, with, I think that's around 25 gallons, that tank. That is roughly 250 pounds if it's full. And so these two tires plus my weight, plus the weight of the machine, that's going to be quite a bit. And I'm hoping it won't ruin my, my driving around. But that's what I'm going to try for now. I've got to make a mount on the front of this, leave some room for my feet. And then the boom will be here somewhere. I'll have it on a piece of wood or something and see where this T-piece goes. Now I think I'll put this on there and get the other bits done. I still have to wait for the pump parts. I see people using thread tape like this and they just pile it on there. All this thread tape does, it's a lubricant and some sealing. But if you pile it on there, you're just making it hard on yourself to thread it on. You only need 2 layers. And that's just to fill the little tiny gaps at the peaks and the valleys of these pipe fittings. Anything more than that, any more than 2 layers, you're just wasting tape and you're making it hard on yourself. Okay. That's got to be plugged.